grab my whiskey. I'm trying to get drunk.
We don't care what R. Kelly did.
Did I say anything racist this time? You better get out of here, honky.
And now for something completely different.
Well, two honks and Kim just messing around. You'll never know what they talk about on two honks. Two honks and Kevin. You might hear something about the NBA. Maybe they'll just make your day on two honks. Two honks and Kevin. It's sports and life and family too. Let's all listen to two honks and a Kevin. Yeehaw! I just crapped my pants.
All right, it is April 6th, 2022. You just heard Blake's delicious cough. I forgot he wasn't muted. But don't mind that.
It's just COVID, no big deal.
It's not COVID. It's
it's not COVID. No, it's not COVID.
And then we got Kevin sitting in his limo.
Dude, I mean, my boy
No hand on the
made
skylight. Yeah, no hand on the skylight, bro.
Got that
Yeah.
promotion there. And just
Yeah, life of luxury right here.
that's management right there, just chilling.
Yes, sir.
That's where that raise went.
That's right. So I think the big topic of discussion tonight is probably going to be a little bit less political. So I think all three of us watched at least some of WrestleMania. So yeah, man. So I think we're gonna have a little bit of discussion on that. So if you don't like wrestling, you might as well just click this shit off now, because that's kind of gonna be what's talking about. Unfortunately,
it doesn't matter if you like it or not.
It doesn't matter.
Hey, hey, with the amount of listeners that we have, if half of our crowd goes, man, I don't know how many listeners we have.
Yeah, if a tree falls and
it's gonna be too less.
Yeah.
Oh man! Hey, we appreciate all you faithful listeners out there, though.
We do love it.
My dad and Landon, so far is all I know. What's up? Shout out, and my boy KPZ. I think he listens, and Lindsay. I got some listeners out there. I think Lindsay still listens. So,
yeah, I got a few people.
But she won't hear this because she done clicked it off right when you said
WrestleMania. Yeah. Well, excuse me. Boys will be boys, and look, man, it's WrestleMania. Even people that don't watch wrestling, my friends that do not watch wrestling, don't give a shit about wrestling. Text me it's like a Marvel movie. When a Marvel movie comes out, I get text messages about stuff. Yeah. So it's the same thing with WrestleMania. So, and that's cool. I don't mind it. I'm happy to oblige.
Well, but see that tells you they're doing well. Like when I get text messages about UFC fights, it's like, okay, they've hit like I'll get certain text messages. Hey, yeah, exactly. And when those casuals hit me up, it's usually a Conor fight. Honestly, Conor McGregor's really the only one right now that I get
John
hit
Jones.
Up. Yeah, well, yeah, whenever he fights, I guess. But so my brother-in-law came over, Dirty. He came over and we watched it. And dude, so we had that going on in the North Carolina and Duke game. So I had the fights up on my computer, and then I had the game on my big TV right here in my garage. And it probably about 30 minutes into it, I flipped it. I put the game, which was incredible. The game was back and forth. It was absolutely incredible. But man, like the WWE product, and this is what I was so impressed with. It took two guys, me and Dirty, who don't watch, and we immediately were hooked. We were immediately hooked on the storylines, and honestly, I was so impressed with with Logan Paul. Like, I don't know what you call it, but you know how it is when like you got these one-off guys that kind of get in the ring. You can tell when they're a rookie. Like, I mean, he looked like he's belongs there. You know what I'm saying? So, so that's one topic I was going to ask you, because I had actually I'd actually heard Logan. I actually heard his most recent podcast because he had 2 wrestlers on there, and I kind of wanted to hear what they had to say, and because it was right in the middle of the WrestleMania thing. But he made it sound like he didn't know a lot of the stuff that was going to happen. That he really didn't practice the moves, and he. Not so much but the guest that he had on, which was 2 females. Do you know who it was?
I don't know who he had on. No.
Okay. He is it Beck?
Is it Becky Lynch?
Becky Lynch.
Yeah, Becky Lynch, which I ended up, really liking. Mm-hmm. But like even while she was talking like she didn't know what the outcome was going to be for her match. Mm-hmm. Is that true? Like, I mean, surely
a lot of them,
right?
Richard, a lot of them, like, they pick, right? Like, a lot of them will script some stuff. Like, I've heard a lot of guys like to outline some stuff. Some really, really professional guys like to impromptu and just go into it. And some people like to do a full script amount. So I think it's basically who you're working with, right?
It depends upon who you work with. A lot of the matches are called so typically what you have is you have what's called a ringleader, and typically that's somebody like a Becky Lynch, who, if you watch carefully, you'll see her telling her opponent, like, duck my clothesline or do this, do that. So a lot of those moves are called mid-match. There are some rehearsals done on occasion. I know Undertaker was pretty big about rehearsing on his matches for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
There's a few guys that like to kind of just rehearse some of the moves, but for the most part, yeah, it's all the matches are, for the most part, unscripted matches. They just go out and they have a producer that basically gives them the highlights. You have these things you need to hit. Other than these things, the rest of the 10 minutes is yours. So you have like a producer that produces your match for you, and the 2 wrestlers will sit down with them, and you'll kind of go over, okay, this is how we want to tell the story of this match, and these are the hits we have to have. So we say, okay, we're going to go out the ring, and then I'm going to do this kind of thing to you. But then for the most part, the rest of it is not, and it's not really even choreographed per se in that way. It's just like, these are the things we have to make sure we hit, right? I have to put you through an announcer table. I have to hit you with this ladder. I have to do this top move, moonsault. Like,
and then somebody keeps them on time, right?
The referee does. He's got the earpiece in his ear, and he'll tell them. He'll either end the match, and also if there's a change on the match winner, he'll be told in his ear, and he'll let the wrestlers know mid-match if there's just a weird decision mid-match to change the winner. That happened during the first match, actually, of the night. From what I understand, the championship belt was supposed to change for the tag titles, and then Rick Boogs got injured, and they called the audible, and the Usos still won it.
Wow!
So it does happen on occasion.
I think that's the stuff that's so fascinating about the sport. I mean, just kind of hearing the wrestlers, because like the Becky Lynch, she was talking about how somebody came out with an entrance, like had a whole band, and she was like,
"That's who she wrestled, Bianca Belair."
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there you go, and that's what she was saying. She's like, it wasn't even fair. I didn't know she was going to do that. I didn't know if they were going to attack me with the trumpet or what part, as in like she didn't know where the match was going to go.
Right.
Like, am I eventually going to get hit with the trumpet? That's kind of what her point was. And but I was just so like fascinated by that aspect of it, because I was like, hold on, you're going to tell me you guys aren't practicing this? Like, especially with Logan, like when the very first time he got tagged in, he did this like, sequence and boom, 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 boom. And then he was out of the ring. And I looked over at Justin and I said, dude, I bet he practiced that over and over and over again. And that was his first, okay, this is your right. But then the match goes on and he
doesn't have to, because the Mysterios are telling him what to do. Okay, swing at me, I'll duck. Okay, do this. And they are quickly telling him what to do.
So I've always known that, but is it like if you're training boxing, someone says throw a 1-2, do they have, just like you said, duck under clothesline? Then they know, okay, you're going to dunk under mine, and then I'm going to clothesline you. So it's all just
counter my Irish whip, or duck under the clothesline, or it'll just be a really quick. And some of the guys too, they have like visual clues they'll give you. So sometimes during the match, like in the producers, they'll say, hey, when you see my touch my shoulder 3 times, I'm about to do this move. So
Okay.
So there are certain outcomes and things that they do that they work on that. But it's still impressive, that Logan was able. It's impressive that he was able to do it. It's very good.
Yeah.
We've seen so many junk celebrities, just go out there and not really, obviously not be able to perform at all. But I think WWE has done really well in this instance and in the past couple of years with kind of picking out people that care a little bit more.
Yeah.
Especially the fans, because I know like last year they had Bad Bunny out there, and apparently he was like a huge fan of wrestling, so he went out and he really tried.
Right.
So, and I think they do probably practice a little bit. Like they probably do get in the ring and practice. They may not practice that match in its entirety, but they certainly do practice some of the moves.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean,
it's more impressive that they tell that story with like they practice the moves. They just don't. It's not as scripted as you would think.
Right.
It's just impressive that they tell the story that way without a lot of practice and a lot of the script.
Yeah.
Now, so are there wrestlers that go into a match and as they're wrestling, they don't know if they're going to be the winner or not?
For the most part, who the winner or loser is going to be before a match. That's predetermined. It's discussed and it's done in the production meetings with whoever's producing your match. Like I said, there have been instances where the match, for some whatever reason, the title or the match flips if Vince is watching something and he thinks
maybe the crowd's
either
going
crowd
towards
reaction
him.
or the other wrestlers doing so well. They're like, you know what? Let's put this guy over. He was supposed to lose this match, but let's go ahead and give him a little bit of a victory here.
Yeah, like even I heard Pat McAfee talking about it, and I guess the whole Vince McMahon thing wasn't planned.
No,
like that was just impromptu. The Stone Cold Stunner wasn't planned.
No, well, they didn't even know that Stone Cold was going to be there. Like it was legit. Like Stone Cold,
because that was the second day, right?
Stone Cold told them I might be there. Like that was his answer to them when they asked him if he would be there at night too. His answer was I might. So there was no plan for sure whether or not he would be there. Also, McAfee also said he did not know the cheerleaders would come out with him. He had no idea that was happening.
Yeah,
so there's a lot there. He was not aware of.
I just, like I said, for something to be live and then broadcast to so many, to so many. It's wrestle. I always get jazzed. I've realized this is that any major event it gets my interest. Like Dirty and we're like, dude, every year we're watching WrestleMania. Like I won't watch a single other event probably, but I'll watch WrestleMania because it's like watching the Masters or Wimbledon or the Super Bowl or whatever. But
that's your season finale for wrestling there, anyways. Like that's the culmination of the year's work.
Yeah. Well,
not only that, it makes it cool that you knew the storyline when you watched it.
Yeah.
Like, that's what makes it so cool about it. You don't have to watch it all year. You can turn it on and figure out everything that's going on. Yeah. Who's the good guy? Who's the bad guy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What the story was right there.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it just sucked us in. And we had no idea Stone Cold was wrestling. Not a clue because we're such casual fans, So we looked at each other and we were like legitimately so excited that Stone Cold was about to wrestle because that's when we were really into it. So
they kind of kept that under wraps. Like there was no clarification on whether or not he was there was an assumption he's probably going to wrestle since it was a main event thing. There was an assumption, but there was never he's going to wrestle.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that may have even been a day of decision by him too.
Really?
So, who knows?
I had no idea it's been 19 years since he's wrestled.
He's like 59 or something, isn't he?
I couldn't believe it. I was like, no way. Like, no way it's been that long.
Yeah.
Like, dude, we old, bro. I just thought he had come back and done some one-offs and stuff like that, just kind of stuck around. But he was
gone.
Yeah, he was done when he was done. Like, he was beat all to hell. Like, if you watch his... I don't know, Kevin, you watched those, what were they, the A&E documentaries where they talked about his injuries? It's like he was done. Like there was no way, and I'm surprised he did this, but
I know, especially 2 nights in a row. And I mean, that's I know it's quote unquote fake, but dude, he took a freaking
suplex on concrete, man.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I literally, Justin and I were freaking. I was like, dude, it's on concrete. He's like 50, 100 years old. Why is he? Why? Yeah. Like, you're coming back for a reason. Like, play it safe, but instead he's getting suplex on concrete. Yep. It's like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
It's so
Kevin Owens is one of those wrestlers too, where he's like he's a tough wrestler. Like, he's one of those guys that when you go out with a match with Kevin Owens, you're probably gonna get your ass kicked, like legit.
Yeah,
like he's not.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, you could tell some of the hits. They're real. Like, they're making contact. Like, of course, some of them are beyond fake or whatever. Yeah. But it's like you could tell some of those punches. Obviously they're not hitting full force. At the end, but like, you got to sell it. You got to make contact. So
I think he was the one that headbutted Vince McMahon and busted him open too. Like,
oh really?
Kevin Owens did.
Yeah. He was good on the mic too.
Yeah, he's
real good on the mic. Yeah,
he's one of the better ones. Speaking of Vince McMahon, how jacked was that dude when he took off his? He's old man jacked.
It's insane, man.
Did you guys see the video where he's squatting like 1,000 pounds?
Dude, that's insane.
76 years old.
Yeah, to be that old, he looks pretty good for 76. That's impressive. To still look that jacked, I guess. Yeah. How many 76-year-olds feel confident enough to, strip down to their tank top and wrestle another young grown man,
Right. Yeah.
And Pat McAfee. So,
dude,
I was the second night got a little boring for me. And I'm sure that's probably I would assume that's what a lot of people would say.
Yeah, that was the consensus that night one was definitely better. Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes when you watch with somebody, it's always better, and I watch Sunday night alone, so it just sometimes it kind of loses the excitement. So
here's what was boring, and this was what I was stating throughout the night. The Edge versus AJ Styles match was 24 minutes long.
It was so long.
Dude, that dragged. I fell asleep in the middle of that after we text. I fell asleep.
It was so boring. The next longest match was the main event of that night, Roman Reigns versus Brock. And that was 12 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that fight lacked the excitement, like the who's going to win type of feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't on I also fell asleep and woke up and all that, but because it was on so late. But and maybe I'm just, dude, I was about to go off. Hold on. Is Ronda Rousey a good wrestler?
Yeah.
She's all right.
Yeah, she is. That match was kind of sloppy.
It was a lot of leg locks. And
you know what? I think Charlotte's matches tend to be kind of just messy. Like,
really?
They're almost like watching her wrestle is almost like watching two people fight for real that are not like trained. You know what I mean? It's like, it's like they're trained, but it's like almost as real looking as you can get with wrestlers. Like, it's matches.
It's a lot of slaps and chops and
and very messy moves. Like,
it felt like a sloppy MMA fight.
Yeah.
With some acrobatics thrown in the mix, but I was kind of surprised they didn't have Ronda. Go ahead, Kevin.
On the other side of that, the Belair and Becky Lynch was really good.
I mean, that storyline alone's been going on since last SummerSlam. Like, it's been going on for 7 or 8 months
since Lynch came back. Yeah,
and she beat.
That was probably the best outfit Becky's worn too.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I don't even see. I don't even remember. I don't remember watching that match. I think there was one girl fight that I just kind of walked away and started doing something else for a minute. But I liked her on the podcast, and he had the black girl with the blue hair,
Sasha Banks.
Yes, he had her on there too. Logan Paul did. So I just happened to catch those today. But Becky seemed like it's just. Like anything, like even some of these MMA fighters, like once you hear them talk normal, it's easy to like a character, or a human being, but
I thought this year's WrestleMania was pretty entertaining for the most part, minus a few matches. So
Did they ever say how much the setup cost? I thought that was the best setup that I've seen them have too, as far as the stage.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure it's millions of dollars. Like it's.
Yeah, that had to be ridiculous.
I don't know.
I can't imagine. What they. I can't imagine what all goes into it. Like how many employees it takes. How much money, renting out the place. What they have, about 75,000 in attendance?
I have it here. I did have it, and then I lost it. It's on the Wikipedia page here.
My favorite part was when Stone Cold, I think it might have been his first line. He says, "In about 5 seconds, you're going to have 75,000 people calling you an asshole," and then just everyone just starts chanting it. I'm like, God, it's just so like that's what makes you love wrestling. Like someone that is just so like him and The Rock, man. They were so good on the mic. They brought you in. They made you laugh. They're just that gift of gab.
For sure.
Yeah.
So night one had 77,899. Night two had 78,453.
Man, that's crazy.
Did you have to buy separate tickets for that?
Yes, you did.
Woo!
There are people that bought a ticket to SmackDown. There are people that bought both tickets to WrestleMania and a ticket to Raw
for Monday Night Raw.
Yep.
Boy, you a big fan.
They did the fan stuff where
access
taking a picture was like $25 and
it was $10 just to get into that. To get in.
Yeah, I watched some TikToks on that. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I bet none of those people are married.
A lot of people think they're kids.
I bet they're very single men.
I did watch some TikToks of after, like, I guess they let people like kind of walk on the stuff when it was deconstructed, and these guys are out there with their title belts and showing all that stuff. That's pretty cool.
Oh.
Those cost a lot too.
It seems like I'm always like I've never been to a WrestleMania, but it's one of those things where I would like to go to a WrestleMania, but it looks exhausting.
Yes, and boring. I would. Yeah. That's something I was going to say. Like, I bet in the crowd. I mean, I went when I was a kid. That's kind of a funny story we have about me growing up. Is that my grandma took me to to WWE or WWF at that time, and she had talked about how much she enjoyed it. Well, she didn't know that match that we were at was going to be televised, and you can actually see us. And she looks so bored. So that was always the family joke that grandma loved it, but then we saw video of her. But yeah, I do remember that it is a little bit boring because you're not being entertained by the commentating.
Right. For a while there was talk about putting the commentators on a radio frequency and letting people listen while they watch.
I think that would help.
That would be kind of cool. But yeah, it's just basically all you're doing is you're kind of, if you can see the wrestlers, if you're up close, you're kind of watching it. But for the most part,
that's what I was about to say.
You're just staring at the Titantron or the TV the whole time. I think the coolest part is if you're a social creature, right? It'd probably be fun. Like, you're out there, you're screaming, you're having a good time with everybody else, and you're just interacting. I would say that's pretty fun. But that wouldn't be something I'd be interested in doing. So
yeah,
they wait longer than what you think, right?
What's that?
Between like breaks and like I don't think WrestleMania would have been like that, but like
they have commercial breaks. The shows are, if you go to Raw and SmackDown, and you are inundated with advertisements, like just constant advertisements at those shows.
Yeah, those they're getting commercials at those shows just like we get commercials.
Yep.
Yeah, the UFC's like that. I've been to a couple UFCs. It's the same way. You're just kind of chilling. You're listening to music in between fights, and you got all types of commercials and stuff going on. But UFC is a good event to go to live.
Yeah, they were here in Indy once. It's been years.
We went there.
Yeah.
We went down there, didn't we? Didn't I go down there with you, Blake?
Sadly, I don't remember. I couldn't tell you one detail from that event.
It had to have been at least 10 years ago. Like, it is a long time ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
It was like when they first started going outside of Vegas.
Yeah. They're all over the place now.
Yeah.
Speaking of going to live shows, Richard and Jared will be going to Mark Norman.
That's right.
For anybody out there that knows him.
Yep.
He's
Saturday
funny,
night.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the second time I'll have seen him.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Originally, my wife was gonna go, but she didn't really like him, so she was like, you know what? I don't really want to go. So I said,
really?
Fine. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
A little bit too vulgar for her taste. So
yeah,
I understand.
Yeah, he's not that bad, but yeah.
Oh, dude, he was rough that night. I was like, I kept looking over like, oh, he's typically not like this. Like usually there's one or two jokes in there, but not like all night. Like.
Yeah. Yeah. I tend to, I mean, I don't mind, the quote unquote raunchy guys, but sometimes it's like, man, dude, like this would be better if you weren't cussing every other word. Like you're hurting yourself. Like do you know who Nate Barbarsky is?
I've heard him on the radio before.
Okay. He's clean. And I just listened to his last two specials. Your wife would probably like him, but he's kind of got like a dry personality. He just talks real calm, but he's just, I don't know. He kind of cracks me up.
Is he the guy that also raps?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know. At least I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah. Surprisingly enough, who she liked a lot was TJ Miller.
I don't know him that well.
Yeah. He was like super clean. Like I was surprised how clean he was. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah.
Mike Miller?
TJ Miller.
TJ Miller. I'm not sure I know him.
Yeah.
Mike Epps has one out on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
I watched that, and I watched Earthquake one this past Friday.
So let's talk about that real quick, because I tried to watch Mike Epps last night. For those of you that don't know, he's from Indiana, and the special's kind of talking about Indiana. I kind of got like 10 minutes in, and I was just like, I'm kind of over this. Did you feel that way, or did it get better?
It wasn't. I mean, I'm not really a big Mike Epps fan anyway, but it was decent for what it was. I mean, it was decent to get a couple. It's a Netflix special. It was decent for a couple laughs.
Yeah.
But yeah, he talked about growing up in Indiana and being around here. So I think, and he got presented with a lot of awards and stuff at the end. So it was a decent one.
Yeah. What'd you think of Earthquake?
Earthquake one, I liked Earthquake just because that's what my dad used to listen to.
Oh,
so
really?
It was like you grew up with that, and for him it was actually kind of cool for him to actually have his first special.
Yeah,
I feel like I've been used to the unclean comedy for so long. I just feel like African American comedy is just that way.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever heard a comedian that's not saying MF this and F that, and like I've never had it.
And then the N word, the N word is like a pause.
I don't know if your parents had this. I remember my parents had the comedy records with like Red Fox and Richard Pryor and all that stuff, and that's all you heard.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's just and there seems to be excuse me.
And they said worse stuff than the N-word.
For sure.
Yeah.
Are the biggest comics black?
You mean
doesn't it feel that way?
I'm trying to run through my brain here in terms of.
Know.
I mean,
we got Chris Rock,
Chappelle, Kevin Hart. Like I'm just saying, like today it was the most popular. Chappelle, Kevin Hart,
Chris Rock, Eddie Murphy. Wasn't he a comedian for a while?
Yeah. He was, but I mean, I would say he's more in them just movies now. I wouldn't put. He's not doing any. I'm just talking about people who do stand up. I put Joe Rogan in that.
But see, I think Joe Rogan's big because of everything else.
Yeah, I think so.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I would put maybe Jeff Foxworthy.
I mean, you got Bill Burr. You got
Bill Burr,
Jerry Seinfeld.
There you go.
Burt Kreischer.
Tom Segura.
Tom Segura. I mean, you have quite a few.
The GOAT, Bill Cosby.
We don't talk about.
It's more TV though.
We cool with R. Kelly, but we ain't cool with Bill Cosby.
That's your boy. That's your boy in the red shirt that said that. Okay. I did not say that.
I know. I always laugh when I hear that intro. It cracks me up.
I would say, like, yeah, there's a whole bunch of them. Once they hit mainstream, they don't go back to stand up. So I'm just
Richard
talking about, like,
Pryor.
the pure stand ups people. So
Yeah, Richard Pryor. He's a black gentleman, right? I hear that name a lot.
yeah. He's long gone though. Like
Is he?
long
Well, I know,
gone.
but I'm just talking about,
Yes.
like, I mean, I mean, you talk about long gone. I did mention Bill Cosby. I mean,
Yeah.
he's not even allowed to mention his name anymore, I don't think.
But I mean, I feel like I've gotten more interested in it just because of the whole slap thing. Because a lot of comedians are speaking out, and like almost like it's changed comedy
dude.
and what.
Did you?
But
hear
I
that,
mean, I've seen it before that. Like I'll watch a whole bunch of YouTube of hecklers just going off, and it's just like, who goes to a comedy show just to argue with the comedian?
Yeah,
Like, you go there
And
for
when
a
you
good
see-
time.
and when you see them comedians just light them up, it's like
It's
you kind of
awesome.
admire
It is
the talent.
Awesome.
Oh, I
It is
know.
awesome.
Go ahead, Richard. What was you gonna say?
I was gonna say, I was reading an article today where Jada Pinkett basically threw her husband under the bus. It said-
What happened?
She basically says she doesn't need him to do that because she's not a wallflower. Like basically, like just not even supporting him.
Dude, I feel sorry for Will. I mean, God, because if it wasn't for her, he sure wouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
He would have laughed it off. So, I mean, dude, we need free Will shirts
Yeah.
Free will.
instead of free Britney.
Yeah.
right under my free cane.
yeah, for real. Shout out to Cain Velasquez. Yeah. I do tend to listen to a lot of that. I listen to a lot of comedian podcasts. So I've really kind of got to, be familiar with a lot of these comedians, and a lot of them I don't even really watch their specials or even care about their specials. I mean, I always tune in or whatever, but like Bert Kreischer, like I've heard his specials and I think they're pretty good, but like
I love
he's
Bert
just
Kreischer, dude.
Yeah, he's nuts. Do you like him better than Tom?
It's close. I mean, I was really
Yeah.
bummed when I didn't get to go to his drive-in
Sure.
show.
Yeah.
And then I think Tom sold out, so I
Yeah.
didn't get tickets. So I was
Tom.
really, I'm really bummed about that. But
They're both killing it, man.
it's
Don't you think that it came back within the last couple of years though, like with podcasts and YouTube and stuff like that? Like it teared off for a little bit, and now like all of a sudden it's just like back.
maybe,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I think for
Like
the
right before
podcast,
COVID.
yeah. I mean, because that's what they had to do. I mean, I've always enjoyed listening. I mean, I think I listen to comedy every day in some way,
Oh,
shape, or
yeah.
form. Comedians and so I've always done it. But I think the podcast thing has kind of helped them. COVID especially kind of forced some of them into that, ethos.
Yeah. And you'll hear like Bobby Lee, Theo Vaughn. I mean, they talk about how like they had no clue that this would help their career so much, but it
I
does
thought it
because
was over.
and honestly, it's why Joe is so successful. You get to hear who they are, literally
Mhm.
hear them talk, and then you can judge them. Like I mean, they are so open. Like it's amazing some of the stuff that comes out of their mouths, but, and a lot of these comedians have jacked up backgrounds and they talk to other people about it. And then other people will open up to them about how their life was and how their views are. And it's just, it's just genuine. I think that's why so many people, gravitate towards it. So it's interesting to see how it's helping their career so much. Tim Dillon. Y'all know Tim Dillon?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I heard somebody was talking about he was making $250,000 a month. Just from YouTube. Just from doing his YouTube stuff. I mean, that's big money.
That's a lot
Especially
of-
for a comedian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Must be
that's a lot of
nice.
money.
That must be. I
I mean,
just wanted
God
to hear.
dang it.
I can't even talk.
I can
about
be
it.
I can be funny, I mean, come on. I can write some
Sorry,
material.
Blake.
I would
support
think
you.
so,
I'm
We want to see you do stand up.
Oh, could you imagine?
Yeah.
I mean, because we kind of talk about it at work. We got a guy named Scott there who, I mean, he can light up a room just with, one-liners, and I've always been able to kind of do one-liners or make a funny pun or whatever, but to do stand-up, to actually tell a story and to write it out and have you can't hit your punchline too soon. I mean, I think I could probably do that if I really had a funny story to tell, but it they talk about it being one of the hardest things in the world to do, is to get in front of people and try to make them laugh.
Yeah, I've heard them talk about how like it's not just about saying a funny thing. Like sometimes you'll have a joke, but then you need to restructure the joke so that you have X amount of syllables in front of the punchline. And I mean, I've heard sentence structure is very important. I've heard, cadence is extremely important. Just it's
cutting
wild.
out the fat.
Yep. It's wild.
Yeah, it really is. It's and when you hear it done well, it's like a bar. It's like a rap verse, when they start out here, they go here, and then in the end they tie it all back in, to the first syllable they rhymed with or whatever. It's just it's pretty cool to see. So.
And it's different every night. It's like when we saw that Chappelle documentary when he was coaching old girl on there. Basically, it was like she told the same joke on two different nights, and there was two different completely reactions, and there was two different ways that she said it. Yeah. That's what. Well,
and a lot of the comedians will say that too. Is that like one night you'll say the joke and it kills, everyone's dying, and the next night you say it the exact same way, and depending on the city, depending on the town, depending on like the religious beliefs of that area, or whatever, like people will either laugh or they won't laugh. It's just so it's kind of like it's just interesting to kind of hear, I guess, the struggles of just trying to make people laugh.
Yeah, every comedy show I've been to has been pretty well received, and I would dare say Indy's probably a pretty decent town for comics because I've never heard a heckle. I've always heard laughs. I've always heard the comedian mention how good of a crowd it is.
Really?
So I would dare say that Indianapolis is probably a decent town in terms of comedian reception.
It's been pretty popular. I mean, that Helium is that where Mark Norman's going to be?
Oh yeah, I've been watching. Yeah, a lot of the shows I go to has been Helium.
Right,
it knocks Crackers out of the. Is it Crackers Comedy Club?
Yeah,
it's far better than that place for sure.
Yeah, well, that's cool. It's cool. A lot of people, a lot of comedians are coming through here.
Well, the thing about the Helium too is they're a franchise. So if you get a deal structured with the Helium, you're traveling across the country for 15, 20 shows. So you're going up East Coast, Midwest.
Oh, nice.
You're doing shows.
So all their franchises, right?
Yeah, I mean they structure things like that. It's not just a one-off comedy club with somebody trying to book comedians. It's a company booking people. So yeah,
right. That's cool.
Makes sense.
So what else is going on in this crazy world of ours? Got anything?
Kevin, how's Olivia doing with volleyball? Is she is this her tournament weekend? Right?
Tournament weekend this weekend. She just came back from spring break, so they didn't have anything then. She has a couple more tournaments for volleyball. Goes into the end of May. She'll be doing her first tennis match, I think, the end of this week.
Her first what match?
Tennis match.
Oh, is she getting into tennis too?
Yeah. No, I actually think that's next week. So
okay.
It'll be next week will be the first tennis match.
Her school
I found out
her school has spring tennis.
Yeah,
okay.
Spring tennis. I found out a lot of it's a lot of the more girls because she's at a small school, and a lot of those kids just double up on sports, man. Like they're literally into everything, like almost like when we were growing up. That's how their school is. But like if you talk to anybody at a bigger school, it's not like that. It's kind of crazy. They just one sport and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that you have to. Like that's how it's gotten. Yeah. I was actually where I play volleyball at. I was talking to a guy that his son is playing in high school, and I said, I asked if if they go at if volleyball programs are going after basketball players, because as I've played the sport and I've watched other people play, like I've just always said, like, how are these like top great college basketball players not going to this sport, or if, because I mean, they'd be made for it without, their eye-hand coordination and then being able to jump and all that. And he said that a lot of kids, because it's so hard to compete in basketball and to do these travel teams and to, pay all this money to go on all these tournaments, to where kids are finding other sports like volleyball and, probably getting scholarships from it,
Yeah, because that's the thing, is you can get a scholarship easier.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen men's volleyball in like college or Olympics?
Yeah, I mean, we watch Olympics. We love watching. I think it's very entertaining. But I wouldn't mind catching some, IU games or Butler. I don't know if Butler has a guys, but I wouldn't even mind going to some of those games, because and Kevin knows, he's been watching it, but it is a pretty fun game to watch, man. It's
awesome. Yeah,
it's entertaining.
I would have played that. You know what I'm saying? If it was offered to us. Like,
that's my point. Like, it just wasn't anything, and when we were going through high school, but it's probably one of the most fun sports I've played. And it's amazing how sore I am. Every Sunday I play, and I am so sore for the next few days, man. It drives me crazy.
It's start, stop.
I guess it's rough on the knees or something.
I know, right?
I do want to bring this up too. So speaking of Tim Dillon, I was listening to his podcast today, and he was talking about the metaverse. And I mean, I know we've touched on it, but like, he actually was showing on his podcast, Mark Zuckerberg talking about it, and, showing him picking out his outfit and all this stuff. And it just kind of hit me of more of the reality of it, and how, like, this is without a doubt our future.
Yeah. I mean,
like,
when we run out of space, what do? You sell fake space. I mean,
yeah. And that's what Tim was talking about, like how much money he's going to make. Like, he was mad. He's basically making fun of it, but he's also making fun of it because he knows how unbelievably addicting it's going to be, and how when you get home, you literally just throw on those goggles, which in 10 years you probably won't even need goggles.
You go into your oven. Into your oven life.
Yeah, but that's what it is. Like, literally, you walk into the house you want, the house that you want, which is a mansion. You can put a lake in the back. You can, you know what I'm saying? You could make it however you want. And then you see your buddy Kevin, and you see your buddy Richard over there, and you guys talk, and like it. And then, so one of my thoughts today was like, okay, that's really no different than playing video games. So what are we freaking out about? Right? Like, it's just somebody sitting down doing something else that, involves time, or, that takes you out of your normal life. Mm-hmm. Right. So there's part of me that says, it's not that big of a deal. It's just a game. But then there's the other side of me that's like, man, like, you can buy off of this. Like, you can literally buy stuff off of this, and it's just like, how good is it that you literally become a robot in the evenings, or maybe all day, especially if you can find a job somehow making money off of it.
There are jobs. So there's like as a computer system administrator, there are applications now that I can use with the VR and have like 5 computer monitors in front of me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even need these computer monitors anymore. I just need my VR. And
that's crazy.
So yeah, they're saying that it's how a lot of the database administration is going, like, where you can virtually see like your data tables and your data sets and manipulate stuff there, versus having to go onto a computer and use a GUI. You just throw on your headphones, go into the database, and manipulate your stuff there.
This is going to be like when the smartphone came out. Mm-hmm. or when computers can't, like it's the evolution. It is the next step, man.
I think it's cool. I think for me though, it's like I've kind of gotten to the ratchety old age of like, it's nobody that should be is going to benefit from it. Like the only people that are really going to benefit from this are the people that don't need to be benefiting from it. Like it's just going to be the rich getting richer, the rich selling more, the rich pumping up the prices more. Like that's all it's going to be. Like it's not going to be some great escape, because even to have VR, you still need internet access. It's not like you're going to be a poor person. You can put on a VR headset and escape it all.
So you're saying, even because that was actually my thought earlier. Yeah. Like in VR, can I build a mansion? Or do I need to give my VR $100 to build a mansion?
Dude, if Apple has any say in it, yeah, you're gonna have to give $100.
Yeah. It's gonna be like The Sims, right, Richard? Where I have to buy these add-ons and
buy the packs.
Like Olivia's hitting me up for $20 every. Hey, can I purchase this?
Yeah, I mean that's what it's gonna be. It's not.
Yeah, I need a Coke machine in my house. Can I?
Yeah.
It's $10.
Yep, and they're going to copyright a lot of this stuff, so you can't get a free. You can't go out, and some company can't go out and make a cheaper version of it. I mean, that's what this is going to be. It's going to be people getting richer, and it's. I don't know. I have a hard time being excited about it because I know what it's going to be. This is what it's going to be, and then also it's not like, I mean, we haven't really benefited that much from Facebook. Like I just feel like it's just the continued downward spiral.
It's
just the big companies make the money. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Same 3 or 4 companies.
See man, I kind of battle with it because like I also see somebody comes home from work and instead of drinking a bunch, or like I'm thinking about a lonely person, whatever, right? Or someone that maybe is a misfit, whatever. Now they have an option where they can go and they can just go, no different than what the 3 of us are doing right now, where we're literally able to physically see each other.
Yeah.
It's going to be the same thing. You're just an avatar.
Maybe, but then because you're not wearing the right avatar outfit, you're a clown now because you're going to get made fun of. You don't have the right helmet, or you don't have, dude, if you play an MMO, like I played World of Warcraft for a little while, and if you did not have the right gear, right, you were not allowed into certain guilds. You were not allowed to play with certain people because you didn't have the correct gear. That's all this is going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're not going to be. You're still going to face the same things in virtual.
Same problems.
Yeah.
Yep. You're going to get bullied on your
Richard,
VR.
What's the movie where they're LARPing? And Ken Jeong is the king.
There's so many of those. I don't know.
Paul Rudd's in it. He's like,
was that with Ben Affleck? You Ben Affleck or whatever?
It might be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the dude that played McLovin was in it. He's the one that's trying to beat the king.
Gosh, yeah, it's
King John's in there.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, you can't kill me. You didn't kill me right. That's what this reminded me of. What movie is that?
I mean, because they're already talking about people complaining about being sexually assaulted on the game.
Oh yeah, I sent you guys that story. Yeah,
with females and stuff. But yeah, you're right. It's like it's supposed to be the escape. It makes you wonder if it's going to take off. But I've also played the golf game and I've played ping pong with people. So I
mean, the games are fine. I mean, but it's not. It's not going to be even in the game though. Like it's not. It's always going to be the social aspect of it. Like if the thought is like we're going to be able to go and have a good time and do whatever it is we want to do, that's, I mean, maybe, but it's...
But if they turn it to like you were just saying, where you're able to use it for work and it benefits.
Oh yeah,
that's
fine. Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing.
There's always going to be bad though too. Like you're sitting there talking about, it's going to be escape for some people. Some people that are lonely, they're going to be able to. Some introverts can probably express themselves on there and talk and have that conversation. Other people, instead of spending time with their family, they're spending time with their other family on that or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So everything that's good, it's going to be something bad about it.
Was it role models? Yeah. Was that what you're talking about?
Yeah. There you go.
Role models. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
It just. I don't know, just like I said, just kind of hearing him talk about it, just like it hit me where it's like as I was watching Mark talk about, the metaverse, I was like, oh my God, that looks so entertaining. That's so cool. You can do that. Oh, that's going to be so fun. That's going to be, oh, my kids are going to love this, and then it's like, oh wait, like this is going to suck us all in. It's going to take all of our times, all of our energy. Yep. We're not going to see each other. We're not going to interact.
Is it going to have parental controls on there too?
I'm sure they'll have something, but yeah, I mean, I'm sure it will.
That's what I would worry about more than anything.
But and then, I mean, even Tim was kind of talking about this, and I've talked about this before, where it's just like, it looks like it's the next step to turning us all into robots.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it is like you literally can become the robot with your eyes, and you can control that robot. And because that's what it is, right? It's just a robot on our eyes. I mean, we all carry a robot on our hands. Robots are taking our jobs right now, and everyone's okay with it. Because it's cool. It's cool that certain, devices can, do specific jobs or whatever. But it's I don't know, man. These next 20 years, it's going to be interesting.
Next 10.
Yeah, for real. That's the other thing too. It's happening so fast, Oh well, what do you do?
What you guys think about Elon Musk purchasing some Twitter?
Well, he's got like 9% stake. He has like the highest. He's the single person that has the highest stake in Twitter now.
Yeah.
We were talking about that a little bit at work today. I thought that was interesting because, especially with Twitter like silencing so many people, and if Elon has a say, like I would think that would stop.
I think that's his intent. He only has like 10% of the share though, so it's not like he doesn't even have an overwhelming say. But I feel like he does. He might. I mean, he could slowly start purchasing more, right? I mean, this could be a start for him.
Didn't he pay like $3 billion?
Yeah, it was quite a bit. Yep.
And he's only 9. He's only 9% owner. Mm-hmm. I mean, how much money does Twitter make? That's insane.
Yeah, I mean, it's a worldwide. I mean, people don't understand. It's a worldwide economy situation, right? It's like it's. Billions of people are on this platform. It's not.
It's so crazy, and all it is just sending out a comment, just letting my voice be heard. Here's a tweet. Here's a tweet. Here's an article that I'm sharing to anyone that cares. Like it just. But I mean, it makes sense. We're curious creatures. Yeah. We want to know the opinions of other people. We want to know maybe their upbringing or backgrounds or, it's just, and then we were kind of talking about this today too, where it's just like, I think we're slowly getting, so we went to the point where it's just like, it's easy to find the truth because we had the internet, right? I don't know, just Google it. But I've heard other people talk about where it's like, Richard's already making the face. It doesn't feel that way anymore. Mm-mm. Well, hold on. You Googled it. Well, who was the source? Yeah. Who wrote it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, do you know that source is backed by this person and that person? Right. And it just like it, and that's how the businesses have used to get us.
Right. I mean, it started with politics, right? I mean, how do you attack your who you're going against? You sprinkle in some bad news about them. You make sure people know that they're a racist or they're a homophobe or that they believe in this and that, and now it's a problem. It's like, I mean, I just think people just need to learn, to shut up. Like, I don't, right. I don't care. Like, I don't. I mean, I don't use it because I just stopped caring. Like, it doesn't.
Yeah,
it's too much.
It doesn't benefit you. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
It does.
Yeah, I don't. I think by and large it doesn't benefit anybody.
Well, I mean, I think it does as long as you don't get caught up in the bull crap, right? It's like we've said before.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're getting on Facebook to see what your friends are doing and have friendly conversations and have some laughs, it's wonderful. It's the best tool in the world. I'm so thankful for it. I really am for that part. Yeah. But if you want to get on there and listen, if you want to get on there and debate topics with people, I think that's great too. But in the end, maybe have a phone call conversation, talk it out. Don't unfriend someone because you have a disagreement upon whatever, and that's unfortunately what it becomes. Or you get sucked into specific groups, and then you just, and like we've talked about before, everybody is so tribal. We love to find people that think like us, act like us, and believe like us. And that fuels us and that feeds us and that makes you feel right about your decisions. And that's all we're trying to do, man. And that's, and a lot of that is what social media is. It's, I'm going to send out this tweet so 800 people will like it and 20 won't. And I'm going to be pissed off about the 20 that don't like it, and I'm going to fight with them. Oh man. It's so, I never got into Twitter. I mean, I always kind of did the Facebook thing, but like I said, I've always kind of used it for friends, but
but
even
I don't too. But it was like it just outweighed it, and like, man, everybody I want to talk to, I talk to anyways. Outside of like, I don't need this Facebook. Like I have group chat with all my friends. Like, I have a few group chats set up, so it's like we all talk on that, and I don't need the garbage. I don't need that. I just think that whenever you introduce the human element to anything, like we wreck it for ourselves.
We mess it up. Yeah, absolutely.
But is it because we're all just different? Like we're all, like we've talked about.
We don't communicate well. That's one of it.
I think there's a difference in language barrier, but at the same time, it's just people in general just have a lack of control. Like just shut up. Like you don't need to spout out every single one of your thoughts at all the time.
But it's that approval. It's like I just said. It's that I want someone to agree with me, so I get very vocal.
Yeah,
And if
do you guys also think that, like everybody thinks it's cool to be opinionated now too?
Yeah,
I think people. Yeah, go ahead.
I think
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think that, and people like to tear shit down, right?
Yeah.
Whenever we see somebody doing well, within a week, a tweet happens about that person having said something racist a week. I mean, I know we bring him up quite a bit, but let's take Kevin Hart, for example. He finally got his dream of hosting the Oscars. His dream had come true. And not even 48 hours later, somebody had to tear it down for him.
Yeah.
Whenever anybody gets that goal of what they've wanted, I feel like it's just a shit system, and people enjoy using it all as a weapon.
Yeah,
and it's not just that too, and it's the weapon of tearing each other down. It's the weapon of misinformation. It's the instability. It's created by far, I think, way more mental issues than anything.
Yeah,
it's too much. And then on the topic of VR is how this all got started. It's not going to help. So now I can see you and bully you. Now I can see you and bully you. Like it's not,
or not see you.
Yeah, I
don't know what you look like, but I'm still going to bully you.
Right.
I don't like your shirt that you picked for your avatar, so I'm still going to make fun of you. So, I know when you came home from school, you thought you was going to escape that, but no,
So when you guys log into this, is it under your Facebook account? Like you can't, are you anonymous?
Under Meta? Meta is Facebook.
Yeah, that's the thing. So it is connected to my Facebook page.
It is Facebook, yeah. And I think too, Blake, the one thing that always signals me about this, the most people that are the most excited about this, right, are the people that have money. They're excited about it because they know they're going to be able to invest more money and make more money.
See, I haven't heard enough. See, that's the thing. Like, I don't know how big the metaverse is. I have an Oculus, for crying out loud. I mean, you have to have an Oculus to even partake in the metaverse, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and I haven't. Like, I know that I can apparently get into rooms, and I can apparently even see people do stand-up comedy. Like, there's a whole world behind those goggles that I haven't.
I sound like a commercial for this.
I mean, dude, but I mean, that's the thing. Like, that's what's scary is like, I have it right now. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm talking about this metaverse where it's like in all reality, I guess I could.
All I do is play ping pong on it.
I'm just trying to play some ping pong, and trying to win a match from time to time and play some golf. And now it's like I can go watch, like I said, stand up comedy. I can go watch TV shows. I can, like it's crazy, man. Like it's cool. It's cool. It's beyond cool, and I don't know.
Yeah, I think that aspect of it is cool. Like I don't begrudge that kind of stuff. I think that kind of stuff is kind of cool. It's like it'd be kind of fun to throw on an NBA game, and you guys have headsets too, and we all be connected, and
that's all.
Well, I thought this was how it was going to be like 10 years ago when VR first came out. It sounds like they're just now getting to where they would want to be, and now you have the social aspect to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, what you just said, Richard, I think is literally next year, me, you, and Kevin are sitting on the front row of an NBA Finals game,
or something,
and we're watching it.
Yeah.
Like, who says no?
Or watching Mania or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I think that would be kind of cool. I think for me, I just kind of doubt it because how long until they start charging exorbitant amounts of that, right? And they say, okay, if you want to sit front row, you have to pay $500. But if you want to sit back row, just pay $10 and you'll be way up here and you can see the little.
You're right. They will.
It's just, man, humankind is just gonna, they're just gonna keep fucking each other over as much as they can.
So,
it'll start off good.
So what you're telling me is once nobody has jobs and we have to stay at home, and we're not spending money in the real world, we're going to be spending money in the fake world, and we're all just going to remain broke.
Yeah.
And the rich keep getting richer.
Yeah, that's all this is. It's just,
I know.
It's just,
it's so encouraging.
That's why I see a therapist. I just like, man.
I think I'm beginning to think I need one.
It's good for you just to get your feelings out. Like it's good. It's good for you.
I think we've done marriage counseling and stuff before. I always tell people, like, if nothing else, man, it's just good to go talk to somebody and not get interrupted. It's just, it makes you fight fairly a little bit.
Right. Yeah.
You're right.
So, well, that's cool. Yeah, it's I don't know, man. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, I hate to be like a shithead about it, but you see where everything is. You see where it's going.
Yeah.
You see the greed just continuing to go. You see all the prices going up. It's like,
Richard, did you ever get an Oculus? I know you were looking at them.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't get I had to get a Facebook account. I was like, I cannot do it. No. Yeah,
that'd be the interesting thing if that becomes a thing where it's like you can get a different version where you don't have to have Facebook.
I'm sure.
And I'm sure Apple's going to come out with one or something, and make it Apple friendly to where all the Apple people go there instead of,
Facebook world.
Apple could do
Facebook
it.
World is Apple world.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I'm looking at the new PlayStation 1 when that comes out. I might grab that one. I don't know. It's just I don't. Is
it becoming too real for you?
I mean, I had the old PlayStation 1 and it was fine, but it just didn't really do it for me. I just was like, you know what? I prefer to just kind of sit on a couch with a controller and kind of play a game, listening to a podcast or something. The cool aspect was being able to watch a movie on it, like you're in a theater. That was pretty dope.
Cool.
I enjoy stuff like that, but the Oculus one kind of interested me because you could actually link up with other players and play games, and there seemed to be like a lot of fitness stuff in there. I was looking at some of the fitness stuff. That was my main goal. It was like, it might be kind of just something, to switch things up every once in a while. Maybe a week I'll do Oculus instead of weights. Speaking of which, man, I think I either strained or tore my bicep really bad a couple of weeks ago. I went to the doctor and she was like, don't lift weights for a few weeks because it's like it could probably rip off the bone.
Dang, bro, relax, Rock.
I know. I was trying to get jacked. Went a little bit too hard on some curls, I think, and I kept working out for a few weeks, like with it, like just thinking, it's just sore, like it never went away. So I went to the doctor and she was like, you're going to have to calm down.
Right.
You got to calm down.
Oh man. That happens, man. That's the thing when you get into, I mean, it's, doing anything. It's funny you say that. There was a guy I play volleyball with, and he literally just reached out to hit a ball and tore something in his arm, and it's just on the simplest of things. Anything can happen.
Yeah. So, I'm just glad it didn't happen closer to Tough Mudder, because then I'd been really screwed.
Oh, right. Yeah, that
pull
would
yourself
sucked.
up on one. Yeah. Never fear. Jared got us, man.
That's right, bro.
Taking us to the promised land.
Jared, I got moves, man. I got moves.
I hope Jared's ready to have a sore back the next day, because he's carrying us all. Like, we're all
facts.
He's gonna be
we all.
He's gonna be like that dude at WrestleMania and just hopefully not tear a quad.
Yeah, we're all gonna be sore. That's for sure.
Yeah, I kind of wonder about it. Like, I'm just like, is it really going to be that hard?
Yeah,
because it has to appeal to the masses, right? You can't be like, this is really hard. Only like
it has to appeal to casuals too, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure it'll be a challenge, right? I'm sure it'll be challenging, and I'm sure we'll be tired. But I'm like, I don't know
how miserable. Yeah, I keep thinking how miserable am I going to be, but everyone talks about how fun it is.
Yeah,
and it's not like they'll say like it's hard, but it's not that hard. Like just don't stop, just keep going.
Well,
So.
I think that and the fact that Blake's gonna grill out for us afterwards, right?
Hell yeah, we should do that.
I mean, we'll be down.
Hey, I'll tell you
anyways.
what. Oh man, we'd probably puke. I would say like it'd be cool if I could like smoke a pork butt throughout the night or something, and then. Bring it with me and we eat it afterwards.
Oh no, we won't be feeling like eating.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah,
I think we go to your house and then just smash them.
That's cool. Yeah, it'd be cool if that was a UFC night or something.
You should look that up.
It might be.
Oh wait, what is it? Yeah, it's on a Saturday, right?
Yes, sir.
Dude, that'd be dope.
Yes, sir.
It might be
August 6th. I think that's
It's gonna be.
Is that my daughter's birthday?
It's going to be Usman
I think
versus
you mentioned
Covington.
It being around her birthday. I like you're like, is that my daughter's birthday?
I can't remember, bro. I got too many. I don't do well with birthdays.
Right? Which one is
Dude,
it?
that is Addie's birthday.
Oh well, never mind then. I guess we
August 6th.
We shouldn't interfere.
Yeah, just come on over after the. I'll be having a birthday party that night.
We shouldn't interfere with that. So
crap, Nika's gonna be so mad.
Well, you told her you were doing it. And you said it's fine since it's at noon, and you'd be ready at night.
Yeah, you did. You had this conversation already.
Yeah, we've had.
No, I think I kind of forgot when I booked it. Maybe I don't know. August 6th, huh?
Yeah.
Tough Mudder. Well, sorry, babe.
Hey,
speaking
all
of
you
birthdays,
can do is be like me and send reminders out. That's all you can do.
Speaking of birthdays, somebody has a birthday tomorrow.
Who?
Don't say who.
Come on, bro. The dude that we can barely see right now because it's getting darker out.
40.
40? Is that
40?
40. Yeah.
Dang.
Good for you. You made it.
Our boy finally made it to the 40 club.
I know, man.
Well, happy birthday, buddy.
These grades are official.
Yeah.
Official.
We the 40 club.
What's you got anything planned? Did Amy was that your Xbox you got for your birthday, or that was Christmas, wasn't it?
Xbox was Christmas. I bought myself a lawnmower for my 40th birthday.
Did you buy electric?
I don't know what they got planned for me. But
did you get an electric lawnmower? Is that what you just asked?
Yeah.
No, I didn't I got a gas lawnmower.
You didn't get that Elon Musk one?
I got.
No, I didn't get. I had a long debate. Like, it took me like 3 weeks to buy a mower because I was debating between electric or gas.
Dude,
there's so many electric ones.
I love my electric mower, dude. Just push the button. And
everybody keeps saying how. So I keep hearing some people say it doesn't have enough power.
No.
Then other people are just saying how quiet it is.
It's so quiet. And it's nothing like just pushing the button and it just goes. Like, you don't have to jerk the stupid chain. You don't have to worry about oil, no gas. I bought 3 electric things. I bought the lawnmower, the weed eater, and a snow shovel, all electric, and they all use the same
snow shovel.
Yep, and they all use the same battery, right? So I have 3 batteries. So as I'm mowing, if a battery runs out, I just pop in a new one and just keep going.
That is pretty cool.
So,
yeah. If you go to any hardware store right now, they on stock they probably have 75% electric.
Yep.
it makes sense, man. I mean, it sucks carrying around a cord, and I mean, of course, lawnmower's not like
and
that.
honestly, a lot of them are cheaper to buy than the gas.
Really?
Yeah.
You just got to worry about the batteries running out and all that. But I mean,
I would do like Richard said. I would have multiple.
Do the same brand.
You do the same brand for everything. Every time you buy one, you get a new battery, and so you.
What's the brand you got?
Cobalt.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah,
close.
Yeah. Yeah, I bought a Honda. I bought a Honda mower probably 5 or 6 years ago. So I'm gonna, and I literally bought a Honda just because I was like, oh, this thing will last forever.
Nice.
So hopefully
my Honda one. That's what mine was. It was. I got it in 06, and it just went out this last summer. Yeah.
I mean, dude, you talk about worth your money. So
yeah, that's a bang.
Well, that's cool.
But I mean, that gets me scared about buying a car. So it's like, hey, everything you see is electric, dude.
I know.
I mean, I think Dodge is going full electric 2024.
Are they?
Man, that's crazy. So quickly.
That's my brand right now too. Is Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep. So it's just like,
yeah, it's what I've had for my last few cars, Jeep and Charger.
The last 3 or 4 vehicles we've had have been that.
Yeah, that's just where it's going. It's not. It's just. The problem is this need to rely on other countries for stuff. It's just got to go. Like it's just it's you can't continue to go to war and see these countries do.
I will say that was my favorite thing about Trump is that part.
Yeah, just self-reliance.
Yeah, I mean, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah,
and like I know Elon has people around him, but it's just crazy how one individual can literally change the way we're doing life. Like, I mean, just, not in a snap of a finger. I know it takes time, but I mean, even with Facebook and all that stuff, even that's changed. Twitter has changed. I mean, all that's helped social media and all that. It's just crazy how it's just one idea literally captivates everybody or completely changes people's opinions. And you just start. I mean, we're all considering an electric car right now, like because we know
it honestly makes sense. Even the mower thing, like there's more people, there's less resources.
Yeah,
we need to. You know what I'm saying? We need to use the resources that we can use for this.
Right. Yeah, or if you're going to make me pay $5 a gallon for gas, then I am going to buy everything electric.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
for sure.
It's crazy. All right, boys, let's wrap it up.